guest, we will continue with open phones, whatever you'd like to chat about. 989-752-6111 will put you on the table, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. Again, if the guest shows up, we'll insert them. But in the meantime, we'll continue with an open phone format on this Tuesday morning. And it's been interesting weather. 67 yesterday or something like that. Rain for the rest of the week off and on. So, oh well, what do? You just put up with it, right? And we haven't seen probably the last freeze either. The way the weather goes around here, it's up and down and all over the place. But as I said, we will continue with open phones, and we'll do that right now, and we'll go to Tom in Bay City to start this hour off. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. Very good comments at the beginning of the 9 o'clock hour. I'm a lifelong Democrat. I'm not thrilled with President Trump. He has done some good things, but I just think this has gotten carried way overboard. Airport, $50 gold coin, the Kennedy Trump Center, just way too many things. You know, finish your presidency. If you were such a great president, history will take care of itself. The historians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. I'm calling in regards to your guest coming up. And is it the same gentleman that Jonathan Dent just had in his news articles and that I seen on a TV article last night?
No, I don't think so. This is the Sun. It's a different organization. It's not the church.
Okay.
But he's not here, so.
I heard the name, and I thought...
no, it's the same name, but a different organization.
Gotcha. Okay. That clears that up. I just thought either was coincidence or bad timing on setting up guests.
Well, it was both, because we didn't know that story was coming. So,
right.
But either way, it didn't work out. So,
sure. Well, I enjoy your show.
Thanks.
Enjoy listening to different comments from a lot of your regular callers. I haven't called in a while, but I do listen, and
I appreciate it.
Good show today. Thank you,
Thanks.
Mr. Lewis.
Thanks for calling. Have a
Sure.
good one,
Bye.
Tom. Bye-bye now. And we'll talk to Bill in Saginaw Township. Bill, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm going to solve that Trump name problem right away. I just came up with a wonderful solution.
I can't wait to hear it.
I think that as soon as they should have one universal name that's accepted, no matter who's in power, no matter who does something, and they should make that name Fred. It's a nice American-sounding name. And I could just see, now, could you see any trouble over Fred Center for the Performing Arts and the Fred Ballroom?
Oh, I love it.
And they could even change the name of songs like they called The Wind, Fred. You know, it's wonderful.
The one thing you can't do, you couldn't call him President Fred.
Yeah, you could.
Well, you could, but I don't think you'd like
called him a lot worse things than that.
Well, that's true.
I'm just trying to help, so I contributed today.
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that, because it's one of those things that I love a little lightness every now and then. You get into these topics, and somebody will call up with something you hadn't even begun to think about, and that is a funny response. I love it.
Very good. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, listen, thanks for calling, lightening the day, Bill.
It was my pleasure.
Or is it Fred? Oh, no, it's Bill.
Bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Name everything Fred, no matter who's in there. Oh, I gotta love it. Just have to love it. For those of you that missed it, we started out the 9 o'clock hour, and I was expressing my frustration over the fact that Trump wants his name on everything. And I started out by saying it has nothing to do with politics and policy and all of that. It has to do with him being egotistical and self-centered, and everything has to be Trump, 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 Trump. We usually reserve those kinds of accolades to presidents who have long since passed, and history has shown that they deserve recognition, and they get it. But not a living president. He will be the first president to sign money. His signature will be on money for the 250th celebration this year of our independence. And they're going to have a gold coin with his likeness on it. And these are all things reserved for presidents who have died, and I was frustrated. I'm frustrated. And what really tipped the scales, in case you missed it, was Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, signed a bill to rename a Florida airport after Trump. The West Palm Beach, Florida airport, the Palm Beach, Florida International Airport. He signed a bill to rename it to the Trump Airport, and someone else in the legislature created a bill requesting that the designator become DJT for Donald J. Trump rather than PBI for Palm Beach International. Designators are how airports are recognized in the aviation industry. For example, our airport here is MBS, and they decided to use that in the name. And technically it's KMBS, but it's just, I don't know. I just shake my head. I mean, there's so many things going on in the world and in this country. You'd think we'd have better things to worry about. At least I would think you'd have better things to worry about. Let's talk to Michael in West Branch. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you today?
I am fine, thank you. Hope you are.
Fabulous. I'm calling regarding the energy independence issue that you were talking about earlier with one of your usual callers. I mean, we've heard every president since way back, like Nixon, talking about energy independence and how we're going to, conquer that our reliance on Middle Eastern oil. Well, I don't know how it's measured, Art, but during Trump's first administration, we became energy independent for the first time in 75 years. And what happened when Joe Biden entered the office in 2021? He shut down the Keystone XL pipeline.
Yep.
He shut down selling of liquid natural gas. He demonized the oil industry. He overregulated the oil industry. He did everything to subvert what Trump had accomplished, and then he got on the phone and called Saudi Arabia and say, "Hey, can you increase production?" They didn't even pick up the phone. I mean, it was asinine. Okay, he did everything he could do just because to make the leftists in his party happy and put up some more windmills.
Well, yeah, that was really what it was. Global warming, global climate change was the thrust of everything he did.
Which is all nonsense. It all depends on when you start measuring. We're in an interglacial period.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start measuring? They've been saying lately that the last 10 years. 10 years is a speck in time. Let's measure back how far. When do you start measuring? They want to ruin our economy. Ruin the greatest economy in the world because you want to get away from fossil fuels. I mean, we're finding out right now what fossil fuels do to the world economy.
Yeah. All right. Good enough.
Art. Have a
Thanks.
great day.
You bet. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and we will chat with Hurley Coleman III from Saginaw County's Community Action Center about a program they have coming up, and then time permitting, we'll go back to open phones. It'll all happen after these notes.
Death has been defeated in
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Unilever is confirming it will combine its food unit with spice and sauce maker McCormick. Unilever's food brands include Hellmann's Mayonnaise, Sir Kensington Condiments, and Knorr Soups. It wants to focus on its beauty, well-being, and personal care brands, which include Dove soap and seventh-generation cleaners. Unilever says it will receive more than $15 billion in cash. Stock futures are pointing to a rally on Wall Street today after President Trump told aides he's willing to end the Iran conflict without fully reopening the Strait of Hormuz, though the global benchmark for oil, Brent crude, has topped $116 a barrel. And AAA says the U.S. average for regular gasoline is now over $4 a gallon. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
To the middle, all right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and with me on the phone this morning, Hurley Coleman III with the Saginaw County Community Action Center. Hurley, good morning.
Good morning. It's good to be with you, Art.
Same here. First of all, I think we need an overview of the Saginaw Community Action Center, what it is.
Yes, thanks for having me on the show, by the way.
Yep.
I'm glad to be able to share what we do. Saginaw County Community Action is a wonderful institution. It's a nonprofit agency that provides programs and services to those who are in need. There is a large percentage of people who live in Saginaw County that they live in poverty. They're in the ALICE population, which is asset limited, income constrained, but employed. And they just need a little help to get through their everyday lives. And some of the things that we do at the agency, it provides that type of assistance in an immediate response to some of those needs. And some of those needs could be anywhere from housing insecurities to emergency assistance to food assistance, and our senior population who's some of them are aging in place, and some of them don't have context and communications with their families. So our outreach team goes out and works with our seniors to ensure that they have the services and programs that they need. And then there's the youth side. So there's youth development, and this is what we're doing at the agency now with our new golf program is just getting our youth engaged and finding ways to connect with them.
Whoop, I lost you.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can now, yeah.
Yep, so finding ways for us to connect with our youth and ways for us to really encourage and strengthen our youth population. So those are the things that we're doing.
Let's talk about the agency and how it's established. Are you a nonprofit 501c3? Are you a semi-government agency? How are you established?
Yes, we're a private nonprofit 501c3, and we're celebrating 60 years this year. So we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. We have our gala that's planned for May 16th. So those tickets are available for anyone who would like to attend. It's going to be at the Horizon Center. But yes, we are a nonprofit, a private 501c3. Is there
a website, Hurley, where people can get more information?
Absolutely. People can go to www.saginawcac.org, and they can find us there, and all of our programs and services and what we offer can be found right there.
So how is the youth golf program going to be established, and where is it going to be held?
So this program, Hook a Kid on Golf, is designed to teach our young people how to play the game. You know, I got started at a young age, and I was living in the city of Detroit, and someone got me engaged, and my father got me engaged in that work, and excited about the ability to show people how to play the game of golf. And this is going to be for ages 6 through 17, and anyone if they're in elementary, and we got some younger late 5s that are already registered, but they'll be coming to the building, to our agency, right there on Perkins Street in the city of Saginaw, and for an hour for 2 days a week they'll get lessons. We've got some great volunteers, those who actually play the game. We've also going to have some other instructors who are going to come in and show people, show the kids the basics and fundamentals of the game, from chipping, putting to driving and swinging and grip placements and how do you grip the club and what are your golf etiquettes? What should you do on the golf course? Should you go on the course? And what should you do? And how should you use your clubs? And what clubs should you choose? So we're excited. This is going to be about a 6-week program starting Tuesday of next week, and we'll go through May until we'll complete our first class.
The young people have to register ahead of time?
Yes, we close registration today. So if they would like to register, they can go directly to our website. You'll find the program under SaginawCAC.org. Find programs, and you'll find Hook a Kid on Golf, and there's a link for parents to register their children. And we will start on Tuesday. But yeah, the registration will close tonight.
And the next question is, who has the clubs?
So basically, we're going to have some clubs on site, and if kids want to bring their own sets, if they don't have clubs, it's okay because we've got clubs here. So we got some golf nets set up. We've got some putting greens that will be set up, and people can bring their clubs, and we'll have some clubs there for all sizes. And look forward to really getting this started. So there's no limits to what we can do, and just looking to start this pilot program.
And typically, if a youngster signs up with this program, how much time do they have to expend in the program? How often does it run?
So the program is going to run 6 weeks starting April 7th, and we'll have 2 sessions, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so for our 6-year-olds to 8-year-olds, they'll have time from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., and then again on Thursdays from 5 to 6. And then our 9 to 12-year-olds will come on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:15 to 7:15 p.m. And then our 13 to 14-year-olds will be in combined class with our 9-year-olds and 12-year-olds. There'll be a section of the agency that will be designed for them. And so classes will run Tuesdays and Thursdays. We don't have our seniors yet, which is our high school age yet. So there's a 15 to 17-year-olds. Those sessions haven't been established yet, so we're going to run our Tuesdays and Thursday sessions to start. And we look to do some summer activities as well. Happy to be partnering with First Tee and also with PGA Junior. Yeah. We're going to be creating a team in Saginaw. So if there are any individuals who want to play in a league-based youth golf, they're going to want to contact me, and I'll give you my information, Art, when it's time. But we're going to be drafting a team, and this team is going to play along with that PGA junior team. So this is a grassroots program, not only to expose our kids, but to give our kids some opportunities that they may not have had before.
I know why you haven't got the seniors yet. You're afraid they're going to outshoot you and me.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid. I know they'll be coming for me.
Well, let's talk about that contact information because you mentioned it.
Sure.
So how do we get a hold of you or the website? Where do we go?
Absolutely. So they can find us, again, my email address is going to be hcoleman, that's HCOLEMAN, at SaginawCAC.org. They can call the agency, 989-753-7741, and one of our team members can assist them and get them some information. And everything that you need about the program is going to be on our website, so they can go directly to CAC's website, www.saginawcac.org, and find the program, Hook a Kid on Golf program, and all the links will be there, not only for to register the children, but also for volunteers as well.
And is there a cost to join the program?
This is absolutely free, Art. This program is being funded through a grant, and so we're grateful to be able to offer this completely free of charge. If parents or guardians or anyone out there want to give a donation so we can help us to buy more equipment and do more things that we need to do for the program, feel free to donate to us at the website. But other than that, we just want to give our kids an opportunity.
Well, Hurley, thank you for telling us about it this morning. We appreciate it. Let's hope it's a big
Thanks
success. I mean,
thank you so much,
the
Art.
future of golf is in the hands of the youngsters.
Absolutely. It's never been a better time to get started. And thank you for your time today.
You bet. Thanks a lot. Take care now.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hurley Coleman III and the Saginaw County Community Action Center and their youth golf program starting up. And again, you can find them online at SaginawCAC.org. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour, 989-752-6111. That'll put you in touch with us, whatever you'd like to chat about.
Hi, I'm Stan. Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. For someone who is homeless, a hot meal served with kindness and respect is often the first step to a new life. You can help provide a life.
Back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. I'll talk for a minute. The Supreme Court has heard arguments on the birthright question that Donald Trump has put forth in his attempt to sharply limit who is automatically an American citizen under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. So let's start with that. If you are not familiar with the 14th Amendment, it grants automatic citizenship to, and I'll quote it, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. There has always been an exemption to that, and that exemption for birthright citizenship has been to the children of foreign diplomats. They do not automatically get citizenship because they are not considered under the jurisdiction of the United States. What the president has argued is that children of people who are in the country illegally or temporarily should also be exempt because they're technically not under the jurisdiction of the country, but technically they are because the country controls who gets in and out, and asylum and non-asylum. The court has a couple of choices that they could rule. First, they could just simply rule against the president and say, no, it's unconstitutional. And that scrubs it right there. Alternately, if they didn't want to rule on the constitutionality of it, they could bypass the Constitution and say that it violates a 1952 immigration law, which would effectively kill it for now. If that happens, though, it leaves it open. And here's why. Because if they rule that it's unconstitutional, that's final. There's no place else to go. It's unconstitutional, you're done. If they sidestep the constitutional question and rule that it violates this 1952 immigration law, it effectively kills it for now, but Congress could always change that immigration law, which would impact it. So, while it would be a temporary win for those that are against it, it could change down the road, whereas a ruling declaring it unconstitutional would be final. Because once it's unconstitutional, there's no place else to go. But if you only rule on it against a standing law, the law can always be changed. Now, you could say, well, yeah, the Constitution could be changed. And not so easily. It takes a lot to add an amendment to the Constitution of the United States. An awful lot. And again, we go back to the Founding Fathers and how brilliant they were, even though they couldn't get along on a lot of things. But they understood that they wanted the underpinnings of the nation to be solid and not subject to political whim every time somebody didn't like something. Think of how brilliant that was back in the 1700s to have the foresight to see that what they're doing could be used politically down the road if we're not difficult to change. So when they put together the Constitution of the United States, they built in all these safeguards. How to amend it? Darn near impossible. how to use impeachment. Guess what? Up until recent times, there were only one or two impeachments of a president, and that was where it ended, because the other thing they did when it came to impeachment was made it very, very difficult to convict. Because, again, they did not want impeachment used as a political whim, which we have seen in recent times. So, yeah, you can impeach, but an impeachment is nothing more than an indictment. It says, we, the House of Representatives, charge you with this. But that's where it ends in the House. It then goes to the Senate for trial, and the threshold to convict is so high that it's darn near impossible. And again, Founding Fathers, in their brilliance, didn't want it to become a political football. So we have all of these restrictions on how the Constitution can be changed, on how certain facets can be used. And it is the final solid underpinnings to how this country moves about doing its business. So again, if the Supreme Court rules against the president on this birthright issue, because they claim that it doesn't meet the test of the 14th Amendment, it's a dead issue then. That's it. It's finished. There's no place else to go. There's nothing else to say. Once it's unconstitutional, it's unconstitutional unless the Constitution changes. Not likely. But again, if they rule sidestepping the constitutional issue and rule against it based on immigration law, it's always subject to change because Congress can always change it. It's going to be interesting to watch and what it means if they do allow it. If, for example, they rule in favor of the president, they estimate that as many as 255,000 babies with legal status are born in the United States each year. This could impact those. Says nothing of the retroactivity of it. I don't know that it goes back and changes anything that's already been done. But it's going to be interesting to watch. They expect a decision end of June, early July, and we'll see where it goes from there. Going to be interesting to watch. 989-752-6111, the number to join me on this Tuesday morning.
Gotta go.
Had to call in, let it ring again, and we'll get you answered here. Coming up tomorrow at sundown is the beginning of Passover for the Jewish community, and it coincides this year with Christian Holy Week, which we are in right now. Passover, of course, celebrating the liberation of Jews from Egypt, and Easter celebrating the resurrection of Christ, two of the very most important times of both religions, and the foundation of what this country was founded on, Judeo-Christian principles. But also the beauty of it. Remember, go back to our founding fathers again. These are men who want to separate themselves from the Church of England and from the rule of the king. And they are, for the most part, some Jews and Christians, mostly Christians. Yet, they were smart enough to give everyone the right to believe what they want to believe and practice their religions in the way they want to practice their religions. even though the country is founded on Judeo-Christian principles. And that means, yes, indeed, there's more than enough room in this country for those who are Muslims. There's more than enough room in this country for those who don't believe at all or are agnostic. There's more than enough room in this country for whatever your particular religious belief system is or isn't. Again, we see the brilliance of the Founding Fathers. They were an amazing, amazing group of people. And as I said many times, that they couldn't agree on very much. But they knew they had to compromise. They knew in order to get their goals established, which were the separation of these colonies from England, from the king and from the Church of England, they knew they had to sit down and make sacrifices and compromise. It was the only way it was going to get done. It could not have happened if they did not compromise. And out of it came arguably one of the most brilliant documents in history of any country. It's survived now beyond the average survival of most democracies. Used to be 200 years was the sort of benchmark, if you will. Here we are about to celebrate our 250th celebration of our independence. What an occasion. All based on the work of the Founding Fathers. It is an amazing story. It's a story of how to overcome obstacles, how to establish principles and live by them, how to provide for a future they could not have imagined. Can you imagine sitting in that building in Philadelphia and think about what life was going to be like in 2026 in the United States? They could not have imagined the technology that we have today, the means of communications we have today. They could not have imagined it. Yet they wrote a document that covered it. They gave us the right to express ourselves. Now, I think we've gone maybe a little farther than we should with that concept. By that I mean, if you go back into history and you read maybe the Federalist Papers and stuff like that, you're going to discover that the Founding Fathers were most concerned about political speech when they wrote the Free Speech Amendment. They wanted you to be able to speak out against your government without fear of reprisal. That's the basics. But the courts over the years have expanded free speech and what is political speech. For example, burning the American flag. We all abhor it. It's abhorrent behavior. But it is considered free speech. And what makes us different than the rest of the world is that we have to have tolerance for those with whom we disagree. Because to take away their right to say or do as they wish to express themselves takes away your right to do the same. So much for the lecture. Time's up. Got to take our last break. We'll tell you what's ahead.
It's natural to have questions.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show. Coming up, we'll hear about the SVRC Marketplace. All of that after the news from CBS and Michael Percher with the local report. I'm Art Lewis.
Broadcasting from the Storm